What is good for the whole is not always good for the soul. You need to remember that. Is that not the best advice you've ever heard?
What?
I'll say
on! No! This is a fucking prison on planet bullshit! In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks! What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, why they copy what I wrote. Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone. Cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise I ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
Motherfucker, I hate this motherfucker.
No, Sam, that's not how we do it. Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Go, Rita!
No, I'm immature. Hold on. Let me finish my point, you jerk.
You don't call your dad a jerk.
Well, you're being a jerk.
The laws of physics do not exist on my charcoal grill.
But what's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Siamese twins.
Siamese? What did you say? Siamese twins?
But my agent said I may need to get a lawyer after that comment.
Oh, God, I just got what you were saying. That's not what I meant. Oh, man, that is just off the wall bad. We just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about that?
Who this Jason Fry character is, he was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay. All right. I have a feel we're about to be joined by Sir George. He normally comes out of the black hole. Oh, there he is. Sir George. He is back.
Play football. What's up?
Well, I just want to say, are...
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just saw Jerry. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You're number one, Jerry. Number one.
Oh, my God. We're moving on. We've killed the Cowboys. Matter of fact, get out. I'm tired of talking to you. Give me freaking JJ. Bring JJ on the show. Holy crap. Let's hear his opinion about this damn trade and why they made this decision. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just not admit you
ninth in the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
that's a lot of
cover. A lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go?
Hey, you're getting too deep into this. Rivalries make sports great, but they got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird. If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE All-Star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Whoa. I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ass. Somehow he talked about buttholes and made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich. It's 35-7, and it's only 7 because you just scored. Shut up.
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play with
The-
sticks and pucks.
Trying to grow the game, man. Global game. These people, they don't give a damn.
Well, I don't really know, but it drives me nuts.
Mm.
You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, folks. Your ass better call somebody because the self-proclaimed best in the podcast game is back at it again because you might be here and you just might get entertained. Oh, man. Starting the show off, dropping bars, flying solo this evening. So if you're out there on the podcast watching Circuit, drop me a line, comment. Flying solo is never an easy thing to do. So the old man, he's got a lot of business going on right now. So, so I'm going to carry it. I'm going to carry it for not only our show, but for America. Right here for America. All right. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the rundown. I'm going to save the jokes for the old man. That's his bit, man. I'm going to stop stealing his bit when he's not here. So, we're going to switch up the order tonight. We're going to start with college football because ton of stuff going on with college football in the last week. Then we're going to get into Cowboys. Then we're going to get into our NFL roundabout, get lost in the world of the NFL. Then we got some we don't talk a ton on it because the Astros and Rangers, those are our teams, but Major League Baseball hot stove is on fire right now. That was terrible. But and then we got the best of the bad. Last time I did a solo show, I did my top 5 favorite movies. So I'm going to give you, it's actually going to be 7. My top favorite bad movies. Like they're not greatly rated. They're bad, but for some reason, when they're on, I always watch them. And then we got our tidbits, randoms, and whiskey of the week, which, as always, the whiskey of the week challenge. If you guess what's in this cancer on your first guess, I will personally send you a bottle of the whiskey / bourbon that's in this canter. So feel free, having a little sip of it right here. And let's get rolling. All right, college football. The final, we're going to get in the rankings and where I think the college football ranking should go. All right, but right now, big news from the team up north, as my boy Damien would say. Hopefully he's watching tonight. Figured he would chime in since A&M is going to be facing Ohio State, not Oklahoma State. They were awful. Ohio State in the second round, obviously they're taking on Miami. So we'll get into the bracket and all that in a little bit. But Michigan, the team up north. I've seen so many shirts that say so many derogatory things when I lived in Columbus, Ohio, about Michigan. It's hilarious. And I don't even want to repeat them on here because I'm not afraid to say a cuss word or two. But some of the stuff Ohio State people put on those shirts and talk about Michigan is insane. Oh, man. If you've never been, it's definitely worth. That's why I think it's the greatest rivalry football game in the country, or one of the reasons I should say. But Michigan fires their coach. All right, inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Apparently, that is essentially what it sounds like. Banging someone he shouldn't have been banging, I guess. It's never good to cross that line. Be wary of that. I'm just going to leave it at that. But so another big time football coaching job comes open. I know Penn State found their head coach. So that's one job off the board. I'm sure the coaching carousel is going to get a little wild in the next few weeks, especially with teams denying bowl games. Oh, are you kidding me with this shit? Notre Dame, after they're whining and crying and they're bitching and complaining, they're over there saying, oh, we're not going to go to a bowl game because we have sour grapes. And then they get mad at the ACC commissioner for saying something. And then the Big 12 commissioner, the head of, I don't know what he's the head of, some college football committee, I think. Saying Notre Dame, you handled this all wrong, which they did. Like, you didn't get in. Sorry about you. You lost the head-to-head to Miami. Deal with it. So it is what it is. Get over it. You can cry and whine. It's just a bad look from you. Like, and I like Freeman as their head coach, but it's not play like a champion today. It's quit because we didn't get our way day. So it's such ridiculousness. I think I just made up a word there. That's how dumb it is from Notre Dame. By the way, I got some more viewers. So, hey, don't worry. Don't forget whiskey of the week. If you guessed on your first try, I'll personally send you a bottle of what's in the canter. So I'll reveal that at the end of the show if you're around. Hopefully you stick around. Feel free to comment, interact with the show. Please do. Flying solo tonight. The old man has some work to do. He had a late one and an early one tomorrow morning. So I'm holding it down. I got the watch. All right. Heisman. Heisman is this weekend. I want to get in the Heisman before I get to the brackets. Heisman, your candidates. I'm losing my mind. Love from Notre Dame, who I'm actually a fan of. Mendoza from Indiana. Pava, Diego from Vanderbilt, and Sayin from Ohio State. I keep saying Oklahoma. I'm going to get shot. From Ohio State. This to me seems like a very weak year for the Heisman. And I always love when essentially quarterbacks don't get it. But I was kind of I did a little research on the Heisman Trophy here, and 38 running backs have won the Heisman and 36 quarterbacks since the Heisman has been implemented. One cornerback receiver, which was obviously Travis Hunter. You had two ends. You got kind of these weird listings on the page here, but two wide receivers, with Devontae Smith being one a while back or a few years ago, wide receiver punt returner, which I have a feeling that was Desmond Howard. The cornerback was Charles Woodson. So it's a heavily favored, quote unquote, quarterback running back award. I like when quarterbacks don't get it. I just like, there's enough awards out there, Davey O'Brien and all those things. I just like when it's, even in the NFL, I like when a quarterback doesn't get the MVP, because it should just be called the quarterback award, like best quarterback, that's most valuable quarterback. So I like, so I'm hoping Love gets it, even though I have an issue with his team whining and bitching and complaining that they didn't get in the bowl game. Wham. Congratulations, you got the Heisman. At least I hope. Honestly, I think it might be saying the quarterback from Ohio State. They went undefeated throughout the year, or they lost to Indiana, so it could go to Mendoza from Indiana. That could be a good one as well. But let's talk about this bracket right here. Sorry about the fuzziness. It was clear when I downloaded it, so it is what it is from CBS Sports. So this is what we got. Top of the bracket, we got Oregon, JMU. I think that's going to be a slaughter in Oregon's favor. They'll end up facing Texas Tech. Alabama gets in. They're facing Oklahoma versus Indiana. I think Oklahoma is going to take care of business. That Oklahoma defense is for real, and it pains me to say that because I have hated Oklahoma my entire life. Yeah, my entire life. Ole Miss, Tulane. Obviously, Ole Miss going in it without their head coach, and I think Ole Miss take care of business against Tulane. If they don't, that's an indictment on their players not losing their coach. And then the most competitive game I think Alabama, Oklahoma is going to be pretty competitive. But Miami, Texas A&M, Miami gets in there with their strength of record. Those were the two. Notre Dame and Miami were the two that are they going to get in? Are they not? And I fully expect Texas A&M to take care of business against Miami, because I want the Ohio State matchup. I want Damian my biggest fan on the show, and me to have to pay off this bet. We bet 50 push-ups on Facebook Live, and that's going to be a struggle, especially for me with 2 torn labrums. I don't do push-ups as good as I used to, but I'll struggle through it. I may have to take a break in there. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of push-ups, and I'm not bitching out. If this was a deadlift or a back squat or front squat thing, I would be throwing plates on the bar, but push-ups and my shoulders just don't work. So it is going to be a painful payoff if we lose, but I fully expect the Ohio State to lose to the A&M, to Aggies, which means obviously I think A&M is going to beat Miami. So that is your current bracket. Now, what is the right thing for wrong button, my bad. What is the right college football? Because no matter what system you have, you're going to have complaints, right? The BCS system, people were complaining it's computers, and then it was committee of the top 4, and then there was issues with that, and now there's issues with 12 and the conference, 5th conferences, 6th conference, things of that nature. I think Fox came out with this. I'm going to put it on the screen here. I like the 24 team. At first, I really thought it was too many teams, to be honest, when it comes to college football playoffs. And I think if you go to 24 teams, you eliminate conference championships. I think you got to limit. The season just takes too damn long. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would add 1 week to it, essentially, to the season. That would take out your conference championship game, essentially, or you make the regular season shorter. One of the two, which I don't know if you want to do that because of records and stuff like that. I've never been a fan of that. But if this would have been the projections pre-conference championship weekend, I do believe Ohio State, you see the top 8 teams that are getting a bye. I like that. If you're a top 8 team in the country, you've earned something. You've done something. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I like it. And it gives these guys that have 3 or 4 losses that played tough schedules, lost a few early ones. I'd like to see Texas beat Duke and have to prove it against Texas Tech, their old Big 12 rival. I like it. Virginia South SC sounds a lot better to me than JMU, about to get smashed by Oregon. Navy would probably get run over by Alabama in this scenario, but I like this idea. And like I said, if you're watching, feel free to comment and get your opinion in here. I'd love to discuss it with you. Flying solo tonight, love some interaction. So I like the 2014 college football playoff idea. I really do. I think that is the best that I've seen, and it gives a lot of team buy, so incentive to do really well. And you'd have to talk about how many teams from each conferences and things like that. I think in the corner down here, not sure. Let me take my banner off here. Now, playoff game on campus. So you have your playoff games on campus. And I think that adds something to it too. You have a home playoff game on your campus. Can you imagine let me pick one, SC at night against Virginia, or Alabama at night, or Vanderbilt taking on North Texas, and Miami and Pitt again. I just think that would add so much to it. And so you got your at-large bids with the stars here. You can see Vanderbilt would have been one, Michigan, Tulane, and Texas. And in this scenario, JMU didn't get it. JMU would have taken the place in North Texas in this one. This was made before that. And then I like this idea. I don't know if y'all have seen it before, but I think it's a good one. I really do. All right. that's going to wrap up college football here. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Some words here from good old easyleadership.com. If you are watching and have a company, this could have been your spot for the commercial. I'm just saying it like that. So enjoy some words from Easy Leadership.
Tired of lengthy proposals and waiting around on developers to try and match what you want or need? At Easy App AI Builder, we ditch the proposal and deliver your working app demo fast. No upfront costs. No upfront commitments. Just your app idea, brought to life within 24 to 48 hours. So why wait? Tell us your idea and we'll show you how it works. Get your free demo today at build.easyapai.com.
All right, easyleadership.com. They're doing good stuff. Actually, I may have just played the wrong one. That may have been the wrong commercial. Anyways, it don't matter. I'll get it. I'll get it to the next one. But hey, let's get into the Cowboys. Y'all know we lean towards the DFW market. The Cowboys Lions. Holy shish kebabs. We just got reminded the Cowboys defense has some things to fix still. Lions are a top level team on offense, and Jahmyr Gibbs made Kenneth Murray should never suit up ever again for any team ever. I'm sorry. Kenneth Murray, bye. I don't ever want to see you ever again. You've been absolutely atrocious. You know, NILs for guys like Kenneth Murray. You should have stayed longer if you could have, Kenneth Murray. Hey, does someone need a linebacker in FCS? Because Kenneth Murray will be your guy, because we don't want him in Dallas. I can tell you that much. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs made him look absolutely silly. He also made Duran Bland look silly. Broke both his ankles and I think a third ankle on the same play. So Lions actually shred the Cowboys. Now, I'm going to give my old man credit. We're texting back forward during the game, and he's the ultimate optimist. You know, he's like, there's still time. There's this, that's one, that's two, that's three scores or whatnot when they were coming back. And the Cowboys made it a game, but they should have never been in that position. The defense still got a lot of work to do. And I think what these last few games are going to tell you is, and I think it's going to confirm that those first 4 or 5 picks in next year's draft, they need to be they need to be on the defense. And you may have to take a tackle if you get rid of Steele, if Thomas isn't the guy, but I think Thomas is probably going to end up starting this weekend. But not all is lost, because the Philly collapse continues, which I'm a huge fan of. Ha ha, Philly, you suck. Sorry in advance. I love you boys up there in Philly. On our former show, we were affiliated with that network. I love you boys, but sorry in advance. Sorry, not sorry. I revel in the collapse of Philadelphia. I freaking love it. And I think everyone in Dallas Nation does. I mean, when I was growing up, the biggest rival for me was the Redskins. Oh, yes, I said Redskins, because they're the Redskins when I was growing up. It's not so much anymore, because the Commanders and the Washington football team and whatever else they want to call them, they've stunk up every year except last year, essentially. And so Philly is our biggest rival, and I love when they go down in flames. Like 3 years ago, loved it. Loved watching. And Sirianni has the most punchable face in football. I'm telling you. Dude, I would pay money to punch him in the face. And I paid money to watch someone punch him in the face. I can't stand Sirianni. Oh, man. But the Cowboys got the Vikings coming up. Vikings came out. We both picked against them last week. And I thought J.J. McCarthy was going to be pretty rusty. And they came out and destroyed their opponent. So this is a big game. And for the Cowboys to keep hope. And obviously Philadelphia needs to lose at least 2. And we got to win out. Man, Philadelphia's playing the Raiders this weekend. I don't know about that one. Philly's bad, but the Raiders are god awful. Like, Raiders are. I'm not so sure. a college team couldn't keep up with the Raiders. I'm not going to say beat them, but I think they could keep up with them for the most part. Terrible on that. But yeah, Dallas against Minnesota. Obviously, you got Justin Jefferson. He's going to be a problem, and coverage along with their other weapons. Can they contain it? Can the secondary rebound and respond? I don't know. We're just not that good on the back end, and we were able to mask it a little bit in the previous 3 weeks. And last week, man, it was a little rough. So I'm hoping subtraction of Kenneth Murray's number of plays, and I think you got to kind of see in these last 3 or 4 games, Leah Fowl and Logan Wilson, are they part of your future? That's a big deal in your linebacking core, because you want to know the guy I'm eyeing in the first round next draft, Anthony Hill Jr. I know he's from Texas. I know I'm an Aggie. It is what it is, but that guy's a hell of a player, and I think he'd look good in Dallas Cowboy blue and silver. The Cowboys Vikings are looking solid. That defense is can be scary at times for Minnesota. So I think the Cowboys are a more desperate team, and I think they're going to take care of that business. I'll talk a little bit more about that in Picks with Pops. But let's go ahead and move on to our NFL roundabout. Let's get lost in this roundabout, because we know everyone in Texas can't drive in the roundabout, which it's not that difficult, people. I'm from Texas. I figured out there's a roundabout on South 183 in Fort Worth, Texas, on the way to Whitestone Golf Course in Benbrook, or right before you get to Benbrook. Just go and practice that if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's not that difficult. Now, there's some highway exits in Austin off of 35. Those can get confusing. And y'all know what I'm talking about. My boy Jeremy, he lives off of one of those exits. I can't remember the name of the road right now, but it's like you get off and you go this way and this way, and that was confusing. Thank God I lived there and I took care of it. But NFL roundabout, we're going to start with one of the craziest hallmark freaking stories I've ever seen in football. This is better than Kurt Warner bagging groceries and winning Super Bowls. Philip, the old man Rivers, is back in the NFL. Are you shitting me? Philip Rivers is probably starting on Sunday. He hadn't played in 5 years. I think it's like 1,800 days or something crazy like that. The Colts are that desperate, and it sucks. Daniel Jones tears his Achilles last week. I thought Daniel Jones was on his way to reclaiming his career, and now he's going to be out this year and most of next year. All right. So he obviously tearing the Achilles this late in the season. He's probably not going to be back for the first month or two of the season. So that really sucks for the Colts, because the Colts have had a great year. I thought they were legitimate Super Bowl contenders for the first half of the season. That's kind of waned a little bit, with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, as well as their defense. I love their defense. But old man Philip Rivers getting off the couch. If he comes in and Shane Falco's this shit and gets the Colts into the playoffs and wins that division, holy crap. It's almost like an insult to every NFL player out there. And I was watching a thing with Steve Young. He was on a show earlier, and he was all like, you know what? If he's getting off his couch and doing it, I'm calling Jerry Rice, and we're making a comeback. Because if he's going to make it look if he makes it look easy, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's more entertaining, the saga of Joe Flacco this past year, or Philip Rivers getting off his couch. There's people in the league that are younger than his oldest kid. That's how old Philip Rivers is in the world of football. It's insane to me. All right, let's go to Cleveland. Cleveland, Shador Sanders, man, getting to start the rest of the year. I think it's the right thing to do. Some people have criticized us with our criticism of him. I never thought he was worth what he's worth, but that's old news. Or a top-level talent coming in the draft. I never thought that, but that's old news, right? And here's now he had his best game, 300-something plus yards passing. Solid. I liked it. but you got to do it against real competition. Tennessee Titans might be the worst team in football. You did what you needed to do, but you had to have that first stepping stone. You had to have that first, like, oh, I can prove I can do this shit as a quarterback. And he did it. So kudos to him, and I hope he continues to do it and proves everybody like me wrong. I hope he does, but I also hope he develops some humility in the process. But speaking of humility, how about Herbert have a little bit of humility? Justin Herbert, don't think I did not see you over there being rude to the reporter trying to get your post-game interview. Way to be a doucheball in that moment. All right. Looking like you're 17 years old with your acne on your face, and you want to sit here and be a douche canoe to the reporter just trying to get the story for the network who broadcasted your game. Oh, man, that was a terrible move by him. I was pissed when I saw that for about 2.5 seconds. Then I went on living the rest of my life. But because I had to go watch and I had to be excited about the Bills-Bengals game. The Bills-Bengals. Sorry, Damo must not be watching this. He ain't comment. He didn't comment when I talked about Ohio State. And I know he didn't want to hear about me talking about his Bengals absolutely destroying any hope of this season. I mean, it was pretty much all gone, but they can't play spoiler. Joe Burrow, what happened, man? Joe Burrow, back-to-back interceptions, one for a pick six. Cool Joe Burrow. He never does this. He's got it all figured out. He's the only one to beat Mahomes. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's going to beat Josh Allen. And no, he didn't. Sorry about you in Cincinnati. All right, enjoy that snow up there too. Not only did you fumble that game away in the snow, now you're living in the snow. A lot of snow going on in the Midwest and the Northeast. That's why I don't live there anymore. It sucks. I didn't say the Northeast. So living in the snow sucks. Don't misread my words out there. Don't be like Twitter warrior over here. All right. So, but what a comeback by the Bills, man. And if the old man was here, he'd be like, your love for Josh Allen. Yeah. He beat your guy. That's your guy. You love saying, oh, Joe Burrow's the only one to beat Mahomes. Josh Allen never has. Josh will take you to the brink and then he'll fall off. Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. I'm just saying. I'm saying it now. They're coming out of the AFC. I picked them before the season. I'm sticking with my pick. All right. Sticking in the AFC North, man, the Ravens they're cooked. All right. I don't know what to say. Obviously, Lamar Jackson isn't right. The defense isn't as good as it's been in years and years past. Who would have thought before this season? I know I didn't. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, probably not going to be in the playoffs. Man, I'm telling y'all, the Super Bowl is wide open, and that's why I like the best quarterback still in the game, Josh Allen. Even though I do like the Rams, they're pretty dang good. But I do like the Rams in NFC. I also, even though I don't want to admit it, the Packers look pretty good too. Packers look, and they might be the favorite going in the NFC along with them. So I think those are your two top dogs in the NFC. I think even if Philadelphia does hang on and makes the playoffs, I don't think they make any noise. I think it's Rams and the Packers. I think if they're not playing each other before the NFC title game, which I don't think they will, they're both going to win their division. So they meet in the NFC Championship game. That'd be a hell of a game. I think so. So yeah. All right. Let's get out of this roundabout. I'm telling you, it's not that hard to drive in a roundabout. If you're going to exit, you're in the right lane. You just go out anyways. All right. Now, stick around after this commercial. We got the Major League Baseball hot stove. Then we got the best of the bad, my top 7 bad movies that for some reason I just love. And then our tidbits, randoms, and whiskey of the week. I do have a funny in the randoms based off of my Pops' not necessarily making the most of your moment because it was more of a funny one, but it's going to be a funny one again. We also have picks with Pops, even though it's going to be picks without Pops because I got his picks. I called him earlier. So we're going to pick the games. see how we did last week. One of us did all right. One of us didn't do all right. You'll find that out. We'll do Major League Baseball, then we'll do picks with Pops, and then best of the bad. So you want to stick around for that. Here's like I said, this could have been your commercial for your company, or I could have pitched you already. Did a live read, a live spot. I'm fully capable of doing it. We want to expand our reach in the veteran community. You can help us do that. But here's some more words from easyleadership.com.
Parents, help your student find their true path with the Berkman Career Assessment. Imagine if you had discovered your true passion right after high school. How much further along would you be in a fulfilling life? Now picture giving that gift to your student. The Berkman Career Assessment is designed to uncover the career paths that align with your student's unique personality, interests, and needs. Don't let them wander through years of uncertainty. Equip them with clarity and confidence to pursue a future where they thrive. Act now. Invest in their purpose with Berkman today at easyleadership.com or email us for a free career checkup.
Yeah, like my old man says, they've knocked the prices down. I think it's $150. It used to be $250 to get the Berkman done. It's pretty good stuff. I know finding out careers that apply to your personality and your likes and dislikes, especially when you're young in this ever-changing, quickly changing world, finding out what careers are out there. Most of the time we don't know. Even taking it later in life, because we change as individuals. So, like me, I left teaching and coaching this summer. I never thought I would. So, I'm on to a new path. All right. The stove is hot, ladies and gentlemen. The Major League Baseball stove is hot, hot, hot. I haven't checked Twitter since I started the show. So who knows what happened in the last 37 minutes, 5 seconds? I don't know. But I do know what happened before then. And $150 million are getting thrown around like it's pocket change in these parts. Pete Alonso saying, bye-bye, Mets. Bye. See you later. Tired of spending my time here not winning nothing, but he went to Baltimore. So Pete Alonso goes to Baltimore for 5 years, $155 million. Give that man his money. He going to Sizzler, people. He Sizzler. We going to Sizzler. Quote that movie. What movie am I talking about? If you're a real one, you know what movie that's from. You know. That'd be your first chance to comment something. Look, I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. Look, comments empty right here. Look, right that way, right there. Throw something in there. Don't be scared. You can do it. I have faith. I believe in you and your ability to type a comment on the show. Anyways, but Alonso to Baltimore. I don't know if that's a huge change for them. If that's going to make a huge difference. And Kyle Schwarber, when I saw this, I asked the Philly boys on Sorry in Advance, what'd y'all feel about it? He liked it. Sean liked it. He's 5 years, $150 million. And, he stays where he's at, where he's comfortable. I'm always a fan of that. I'm a loyal guy. I like being when players are loyal. And, I mean, $150 million makes you pretty loyal pretty quick. But, he says the fan base is mixed. I wonder why they're mixed up in Philly. I wish Sean and Scott could come on here and explain that. But one of these days we'll cross reference. They got kids and working and all that, and Sean, I'm gonna have to get some clarification from you on why Philly is mixed on Kyle Schwarber, because that man just all he does is hit home runs. And he's never been a big average guy, which that's a lost art in Major League Baseball, isn't it? I feel like it's a big lost art. So, all right. Let's who's we got? Oh, the stupid. Listen, I'm all for playing sports video games and things of that nature, man. And but stop. All right. But this the technology fun. Diaz and the Trumpets go to LA, and this to me is ridiculous. It really is, because it's just it's acquiring unnecessary talent. I know they don't think it's unnecessary, but it's almost unfair. This is why I think baseball needs a salary cap. I really do. And the Dodgers deferring all their money down the road, and Ohtani is going to get paid basically till he's 143 years old. And I just the Dodgers have already won the World Series. It feels like they just keep adding these guys, and now the Rangers are talking about trading their best guy to Boston, and which what a trio that would be in the last year. Freaking, you trade Luka, you traded Parsons, and now you trade Seager. Like, you want to talk about collusion in sports? Someone needs to start talking to these Dallas owners. Like, what in the hell is going on? But I think ultimately, I don't know if the Rangers make that deal, but their owner did say they wanted to shed payroll. But you added Nimmo, which saved you $5 million a year off of Simeon. But if you want to stay competitive, you don't trade Corey Seager. I'm sorry, you just don't. That's just my opinion. But yeah. So I think baseball needs salary cap. I'm sorry. The Dodgers thing is getting stupid. They'll probably get the other pitcher coming from Japan, and they'll probably get a clone of a 25-year-old Barry Bonds, and something like that, and resurrect Babe Ruth and some bullshit. But the Dodgers, it's not even fun. It's almost not fun. Like, it was fun. It was fun seeing. I think Ohtani is the greatest baseball player of all time, or baseball player, not pitcher and not hitter, but player. I think you can make that argument now. I don't know. It's not fun really watching the Dodgers with just an all-star team coming in there and literally just rummaging through the league. So, all right. Yeah. All right. That's all I got on the hot stove. All right. Yeah. Sheebies. Had to take a breath. All right. We're going to go picks without Pops, because Pops ain't here. So, feeling a little parched. So, don't mind me. But don't forget, guess what's in the canter, and you get a free bottle of it. Whiskey of the week. Throw it in the comments on your first guess. I will personally send you a bottle of bourbon that's in the canter. And it's not cheap. It's not expensive, but it's worth a guess. Like, I swear, no one believes me that I'll actually sell them a bottle. I don't get it. But maybe I just have people who don't drink bourbon watching the show. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should be like, what beers in the whatever. Anyways. All right, I'm going to take this off. All right, last week, I did pretty well. I extended my lead on the year. I went 4-3. The old man went 3-4. And you can see there, we both picked Dallas to beat Detroit. That did not work out. And we both picked Washington after they put up a big fight the week before. Vikings came out, rolled Washington. That was a surprise. We both picked the Chargers, which, the Philly demise continues. And like I said, I love it. I love Philly going down in flames. And then we both picked Texans over the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, they're going to have to go through a retooling to be back on a top level. Because for the last 2 years, they've been skimming by on one-score games. And the old man was right when he made this point about Chiefs. Oh, the point of the game is to win, and they're just winning. Well, now they don't give themselves any room for error. And, I agree with a lot of the experts on this is, I expect them to make a play for Brees Hall. I know people are talking about Jeremiah Love and the mock drafts and stuff. Yeah, that's what they said about Genty to the Cowboys, and he didn't even get close to the Cowboys pick. So I think Jeremiah Love will be gone way before the Chiefs. But Texans take care of the Chiefs. Shout out to Texans Nation. I'd say we kind of backed off the Texans segments, but since I'm not pursuing a job at the local radio station here anymore. So, but Texans turning around. I like it. We'll see what they got this upcoming week against the Cardinals. It's the Cardinals. The old man picked the Burrow-led Bengals. They fall to the Bills. I picked LA over Arizona. I also picked that's wrong. I picked the Ravens over the Steelers. I didn't move the icon over. So I had that one wrong. So that's incorrect on the screen. And then the old man picked Seattle over the Falcons and the Bucks over the Saints, which Bucks over the Saints. The Saints, it's that weird time of the year where, a team will just outplay the other team all of a sudden, or, things of that nature. And you just get teams, now you got injuries piling up and certain guys are out, and sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen. So let's get to the actual picks without Pops today, but I do have his picks. We are both, and I was a little frustrated when we started picking these games because, it's going to keep my lead intact. I extended my lead. 4 wins greater in the win column and 5 wins better in the loss column. But we got Raiders at the Eagles, and as much as I want the Eagles are playing bad right now, but are they playing Raider bad? We both say no. We both got the Eagles. Commanders versus the Giants off of a bye week. We both picked the Giants at home. By the way, the Giants retro jerseys with where it says Giants across versus the NY, I like it. And same on that note. All right, I know I'm getting a little Denver's Orange Crush. Bring them back full time. I think they look better. The retro jerseys are starting to look better and better. I just now Tampa Bay with the creamsicles. I can't get behind those, but the Broncos for sure. Keep those for sure. The Chargers did that with their powder blues, and they didn't wear those for a long time. They had the dark blues in the LT years and things of that nature in the 90s. And they brought those back. They're the best looking uniform. Embrace your best looking uniform. Denver, I think that's your best looking uniform. Please do it. All right. And the Giants, Giants on the side of the helmet. All right, Vikings, Cowboys. We both have faith in the Cowboys. I don't know why, but after that performance by the defense per se, I think we both believe in the offense. And I think Pickens is going to have a rebound. I didn't talk about Pickens in the Cowboys segment, but ultimately I think he's going to have a rebound. CD may or may not play. I haven't seen the latest on him. Last I saw, he wasn't, or he was questionable. So we'll see where that works out. But I think Pickens is going to hear the criticism. I think he knows I don't know if they got in his head. I don't know if they ended up, I've heard he's nursing a knee injury. We've seen Pickens play without CD before. He's balled out in those 4 games earlier in the year. I don't understand what happened. I fully expect him to respond whether CD is there or not. I don't think you'll see that again. If he does, then I think we need to start being a little bit concerned about George Pickens in Cowboy Nation. I know some people already are. I'm not yet. I'm not going to. He's built up 10, 11, 12 good weeks of goodwill with me. Let's see how it ends up. Okay. All right. So we both have Dallas beating the Vikings. Texans, Cardinals. Texans. We both have the Texans. Chargers versus the Chiefs. These were our wild card games. So if you're new to the show, new watching, we always pick NFC East games and the Texans game. Then we always do a total of 7. So however the matchups end up, we might have 3 wild cards, 2 wild cards. You just never know. So we both have Chargers beating the Chiefs and essentially ending the Chiefs season. And my wild card that he did not pick, I had the Bears beating the Browns. And what a season Myles Garrett's having. You know, I talked about Shador earlier, but Myles Garrett's probably breaking the sack record this year. And here's the thing with NFL records, with the 17-game season. If you want to be considered legit, in my book, do it in 16 games, which Myles Garrett has the opportunity to do. I think he's 3 away from breaking it, which he could get this weekend. He's that damn good. Even though I don't like him whining about being in Cleveland after he signed that contract, which I heard there may be a way out where it's not an astronomical amount of dead money this offseason. So I think Shador Sanders will have a lot to do with that in these last 4 games if Myles Garrett wants to stick around. And my dad's last wild card is Packers Broncos. He's got the Broncos. I like that pick. Actually, that's not his last. He's got one more. He's picking the Bucks over the Falcons. So that's kind of quote unquote his gimme game, even though the Bucks were supposed to be a gimme last week against the Saints and they lost to the Saints. You just never know with some of these divisional games. Broncos, Packers, I think that's probably the best game of the weekend. And one of the top seeds in the NFC, top seed in the AFC. I think it's going to be a great game. That defense for Denver against Jordan Love, I think can cause havoc. That's going to be a fun one to watch for sure. Absolutely for sure. All right. Well, that's picks without pops tonight, ultimately. So hope you enjoyed that. And let's enjoy our last commercial break. When we come back, we're going to do the best of the bad, my top 7 favorite bad movies that for some reason, if they're on, I'm watching. All right, here's some words from easyleadership.com, and it could have been you and your company's commercial.
Attention leaders planning your 2025 leadership retreat. Are you about to throw $30,000 to $40,000 out the door on flashy speakers and trendy activities that lose impact in 2 months? Don't waste your budget on short-lived inspiration. Partner with Easy Leadership and harness the disc work of leaders to gain real data insights into your company's real-world issues. We'll uncover your team's strengths and tackle critical challenges in vision, alignment, and execution, creating a strategic action plan that drives lasting, measurable results. Act now. Contact Easy Leadership at easyleadership.com to invest in leadership that transforms your organization for the long haul.
All right. All right, easyleadership.com. Hey, I'm just going to say this. I've spoken at one of my dad's things before, and he's pretty damn good at what he does. So am I. But on leadership and me, it was talking about impact kids and mental health of kids, being a teacher and a coach. But which people are, I guess, asking him, does he teach or does he speak all the time? No, that's my first time. But you want to throw 30 grand our way, we'll get you right. I'm just saying. So, all right. Best of the bad. That's where we're at. Best of the bad. Let's get it. I even came up with a new background for it. Best of the bad. We're going movies tonight. I should have did a little like ranking thing up here, but I ran out of time. But best of the bad movies. All right. This is and if you agree or disagree or you have any, throw it in the comments. Feel free. But my first best of the bad, which this used to be on TV all the time in the late 90s, early 2000s. Came out, I think, in like 92, 93, 94. It's Air Up There. Or not, or is it Air Up There? I think I'm getting my movies mixed up. I am getting my movies mixed up. Dang it. The Air Up There isn't a good movie, by the way, either, with Kevin Bacon. That's probably on the list, honestly. No, I'm thinking of the one with the surfer dude who moves to like Minnesota or something, and they have the big rollerblading scene at the end. Damn it, what's it called? Man, he's like a surfer dude, and he's like, I just chill with some waves, and damn it. Oh well, let's just move on. All right, but if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The next one, the movie Cocktail. All right, I watched this all the time growing up. With it was on. We had a VHS of it. It was one of my mom's movies from. She liked it from the late '80s. Cocktail with Tom Cruise. I think Christy Swanson was it was Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue was in it, and he's a bartender, and he ends up, becoming a big bartender, and having a baby with a fling in Jamaica, and it's the plot of it is just kind of laughable at times, but I will say this, that's when TGA Fridays actually look fun in that movie. I know TGA Fridays really isn't a thing anymore, but TGI Fridays, man, I loved eating there growing up, but this was like a TGI Fridays bar in New York, and man, it looked like a blast. So I'm gonna say ultimately fall down, but Cocktail is definitely on there. Cocktail and Dreams was the end of it, and he's like, you can't spook me, and he's like, or she was like, yes, I can still spook you, and she's like, I'm having twins, and he's like, oh, I'm spooked, and then the whole bar celebrates and whatever, and the plot is laughable, but it's just something I always watch if it's on. Next one, Real Steel. This is probably the most recent one I have on the list. The boxing movie with the kid and Hugh Jackman, and they find this junk robot, and then they go into the big time. It's robots boxing instead of humans, which honestly we'll probably end up getting to in real life. But at the end of the day, it was just kind of comical and cheesy of storyline. It's not a great movie, but when it's on, I watch it. What can I say? The next one, Willow. Y'all remember Willow? It just seems so weird, and it's just not a good movie, but I like it. It's when it's on, I watch it. It's like it's got a soft spot in my heart. So next one, I think a lot of people would say this one, Roadhouse. I actually have two Patrick Swayze movies on here, but Roadhouse is the first one. It's such a bad movie, but it's so good in its own beautiful way. You got the bouncer, which is called a cooler, apparently. I don't know all these industry terms. I literally learned these terms from the movie. I just call them bouncers. So Patrick Swayze, and he goes to this, obviously the bar. I really don't need to explain this plot. I mean, almost every person in America has seen Roadhouse at least once, but it's a rough bar, and he makes it over, and there's resistance from the main guy who runs the town, and then there's a bunch of killing, and by the way, who hasn't imagined living in the in the top of a barn with a full apartment for like $100 a month? What happened to those rent numbers? My first apartment in 2006 cost me $800 plus in Fort Worth. Of course, it was a very upscale apartment complex, but still, I would have lived in the top of a barn for fully furnished for $100. Now, if it was Texas, I would need AC. But all right, the next Patrick Swayze movie that is so bad it's great is Next of Kin. It's so weird. It's the first time I saw Liam Neeson, by the way, in a movie. I didn't know who he was at the time, but he's Patrick Swayze's brother, and they're hillbillies from the hill country. And Patrick Swayze left and became a city cop, and you know they end up this mafia type family murders his brother, and you know and you know they end up doing a revenge thing, and it's so bad. The Camaro IROC Z that he's driving is pretty iconic. I will say that. But I remember them saying Patrick Swayze did these movies to try to be like an action tough guy, after like doing Ghost and Dirty Dancing and movies like that really made him famous, and it was pretty interesting. So the last movie on the list, not necessarily last in the order of my favorite, the best of the bad, is a movie you might remember called Tango and Cash. Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. It was so 80s, just over the top, explosions, shooting everywhere. Half the movie was gunfights. It was just, city cop versus the sophisticated cop, and they get framed for a murder. That way the drug people can just run their drugs like crazy because these two cops are making busts left and right, apparently. And they entrap them, and then they try to murder them in prison, and they break out, and they go on revenge, and they prove their innocence. And but Tango and Cash is so bad, it's so good. So those are the top 7. Still can't remember the movie that I was trying to let me see if I can find it. I'm not. I give up. If I delay any longer, people gonna be leaving. All right, but yeah, Air Up There was a bad movie, so might as well just keep on this. Cocktail, Real Steel, Willow, Roadhouse, Next of Kin, Tango and Cash, worst or best of the bad, I should say. So yeah, there we go. Tidbits, randoms, and whiskey of the week. No one try to guess the whiskey of the week. You got a minute or two here. You can throw it out there. I will personally send you a bottle of the bourbon or the whiskey that's in the canter right here. I'll take a picture of your name and I'll message you back, and you can give me an address to send it to, P.O. box or something. But all right, random tidbits. Lively is out for the Dallas Mavericks the rest of the season. That's unfortunate news for already one of the worst teams in basketball. My Mavericks they're in Strugglesville. I'll just say that. And then the NBA Cup is moving along, and we're going to move along from that. Yeah. So, all right. I did want to get to this. Pardon me. Just a random funny. My dad started this last week with not necessarily making the most of your moment, but they say women don't fart. Thermal cameras have a chance to prove it, and it's even better when it's on stage. So let's check this out right here. Up there it goes. Wow. Oh, it's got to be a guy thing. But wait, there it goes. And I love how she moves with it. I love the movement with the fart. It's pretty classic here. This one might be my favorite. Yep. Jiggle it out. Yep, I'm gonna walk away from that. Yep. Whoa. What's funny is that it would be classic if we tried to guess. which artists these are. I guess you could probably listen to the song and figure it out. But, oh man, that is amazing. All right. Well, that is essentially going to bring us to the end of the show. Man, it's a tough one with, the folks quiet on the comment section tonight, but it's all good. It's all good. I appreciate y'all watching, carrying it solo tonight. And, shout out to Guardian Renewal Project company I work for on the weekends. We raise money for vets and first responders, PTSD, trauma counseling, and food, clothing, housing, emergency assistance. Big shout out to them. Shout out to the PTSD Awareness Foundation here in Houston. Saw a lot of them playing golf at a golf tournament I was working on Monday. And, he ain't paying me, but I'm going to give him a shout out anyway. Shout out to Kobe Stevens, local golf shirt maker. Does a lot of good stuff here locally, and he has a really great shirt. So Kobe Stevens, his whole name isn't Kobe. It's Kobe, and the company's Kobe Stevens, but they combine two names. So check them out. If you see me wearing a crazy polo on the show, you'll probably see their logo on it. So, but the whiskey of the week, since no one commented, I don't have to reveal it. And I don't have to send anyone a bottle. So, but let's just say it's not your normal one it's on the shelves, but you'd have to be guessing kind of out of left field to get this whiskey. So it is a challenge, I will say that. But well, folks, when your partner's not here, you go a little quick sometimes. And so, yeah, last week we went almost 2 hours, and tonight I'm shutting it down before 1:10. And, if you do have a company or a product you want to advertise on the show, let us know. But please follow us on socials, on X and TikTok. You can find me at Coach Schedule. The old man's at Easy Eddie on X, and obviously on YouTube and Facebook at On Time Sports Talk. And we'll begin the Instagram and website up here pretty soon as well, and as well as getting our stuff actually on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and those things. All in the works. Trying to set the reset button a little bit after our network kind of went away. So, but guys and ladies, thank y'all for watching, sticking around, listening to me ramble for a little over an hour. It means a lot to have the numbers up there in the viewing. And even if it's just one person with 35 tabs open, it'd be fine with me, honestly. But yeah, we'll be back next Wednesday. The old man will check his work schedule and see if he can do it. And actually, today's show was going to get canceled. Some of y'all may have saw the post. I was going to do the Midday Madness show. Well, I have a lot of work getting done on the outside of the house right now, and I couldn't. The mic would have picked it all up, so it just would have been bang and drilling, and they're replacing siding and stuff. So it wouldn't have worked out well for the show. And then I was supposed to be at a business meeting this evening that we rescheduled to next week. So I'm glad I got to do the show, even if I was running solo. And we always thank y'all's support and everyone who watches us, share us, and follow us. And our ultimate goal with this platform, is to start making an impact in a positive way in the veteran community, especially me and the old man being Navy vets. It's normally black, but you see the United States Navy right there. But and with support, hopefully with sponsorships and things of that nature, we can start doing that. And because most people don't know. Most people heard of the number 22. Got it on my wristband right here. It's always weird trying to put it up to the camera, but right here, 22 a day. That's actually an inaccurate number. It's now 44. PTSD Awareness Foundation did their first study post-COVID, and it doubled to 44, unfortunately. So, yeah, we want to start making an impact in the veteran community, whether that's just at a small scale or a large scale. That's our purpose. That's why our colors are teal, which is PTSD awareness. And so, yeah, if you want to sponsor or do a commercial, it could even be a one-time thing. Or if you're watching, you want to be a guest, let us know. We'll have you on. And if you got a company, we'll let you pitch the company and all that good stuff. So, thank you again. Appreciate it. And enjoy. I was going to say enjoy the new outro I mentioned. If you didn't catch the very beginning of the intro, I changed it a little bit. It's pretty funny. Y'all should check it out. But enjoy the new outro as well. So, y'all take care. Peace. I'm out of here.
Can't breathe and I catch my breath, but I keep chasing that same old devil down the same old dead end. My